You're watching Fox 40 News. News that matters.
Good morning. It is Thursday, December 8th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Monica de Anda. Happening now on Fox 40 News at 4:30. The Board of Supervisors is trying to figure out what to do about Sacramento County's overcrowded jails. What was discussed at last night's meeting ahead of a vote today, plus how the board plans to balance public safety with treating inmates humanely. And some people in Sacramento County will be required to mask up indoors, where a mask mandate will be enforced and what doctors are recommending as 3 viruses are on the rise in California.
Fox 40, covering news that matters. Fox 40 News at 4:30 a.m. starts now.
We have lots of news to get to this morning, but first, Fox 40 meteorologist Adam Epstein joins us with a look at your forecast. And Adam, I know there's a lot going on. Could today be considered kind of the calm before the storm?
Well, the first half of the day, yes.
Oh dear.
But the storm will arrive this evening. So your morning commute, not impacted by rain, but it will be impacted by fog. That's something to watch out for today. National Weather Service has issued a dense fog advisory. It's in effect until 10 a.m. in the southern San Joaquin Valley, then southern Sacramento Valley, northern San Joaquin Valley, and Delta. So you can get visibilities of a quarter mile or less, and that makes it harder to see, harder to drive.
Good morning. It is Thursday, December 8th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Richard Sharp.
And I'm Melanie Townsend. Happening now on Fox 40 News at 5. Another hurdle for Sacramento County's Board of Supervisors, overcrowded jails. How the board plans to balance public safety with treating inmates humanely.
Masking up indoors is back, where a mask mandate will be enforced. And we'll hear what doctors are recommending as 3 viruses are on the rise in California.
Fox 40, covering news that matters. Fox 40 News at 5 a.m. starts now.
You heard that right. In some places, the mask mandate is being brought back indoors.
So we'll talk about where exactly those places are. And of course, you know, it is flu season. It is that coughing, sniffling season. But all of those 3 viruses coming together, that's why doctors are so concerned.
It's the trigger, right?
So we'll talk more about that. Let's also talk about our forecast with Fox 40's meteorologist, Adam Epstein. Adam, I could actually see the clouds in the night sky tonight because of the moon. It was so bright.
Full moon, right?
Right. The full moon, it was shining bright this morning, but you may not be able to see it depending on where you are because of fog. There's a dense fog advisory in effect this morning for parts of the southern Sacramento Valley, northern San Joaquin Valley, and the Delta. Hazards, visibility less than a quarter mile, and when that happens, it gets very hard to see and drive safely. So right now, we're above that mark in Stockton and Modesto, but Fairfield at a quarter mile there. That's an area to watch out for in Solano County.
News that matters. You're watching Fox 40.
Good morning and welcome back. I'm Fox 40 meteorologist Adam Epstein, and the first thing you may notice today when you step outside is that there's some more fog around. There's a dense fog advisory in effect for the southern San Joaquin Valley, southern Sacramento Valley, northern San Joaquin Valley, and Delta. This is in effect until 10 a.m. Not everybody is seeing very limited visibility, but it's out there. You have Vacaville and Fairfield that have been flirting with that quarter mile mark where it does very much become dangerous. Then Stockton, Modesto at 2 miles. Sacramento to the north actually looking pretty good and clear, but it is chilly, 38 degrees here.
Good morning to you on this Thursday, December 8th, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Melanie Townsend.
And I'm Richard Sharp. Happening now on Fox 40 News at 6. Board of Supervisors trying to solve Sacramento's main jail's overcrowding problem. What was discussed at last night's meeting that went all the way to midnight just about, and what's going to be talked about today when it reconvenes.
People living in Sacramento County will be required to wear masks indoors once again, where a mask mandate will be enforced, and what doctors are recommending as 3 viruses converge and rise here in California.
Fox 40, covering news that matters. Fox 40 News at 6 a.m. starts now.
Last hour, we were live at the White House hearing from Sherelle Greiner, Brittany Griner's wife, after they just announced her release after 9 months being stuck in a Russian prison.
This exchange for Victor Bout, what they call the merchant of death, this prisoner exchange. President Biden was hoping to get 2 prisoners. He got Greiner out there, so we heard from her. We'll hear more details coming up throughout the show as well. But in the meantime, let's get over to Adam Epstein to talk about our changing weather pattern and what we need to brace for tonight.
All right, well, first things first, it's foggy outside for some parts of the valley this morning. We have a dense fog advisory for the southern Sacramento Valley, northern San Joaquin Valley, and Delta until 10 a.m. Visibilities could be a quarter mile or less, and that's when you really have to be careful and take it slower. Right now, we are looking better in the San Joaquin Valley, but then you have Vacaville and Fairfield at a quarter mile each. So Solano County, that's where you have to watch out.
Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday. I'm Melanie Townsend.
And I'm Richard Sharp. Happening now on Fox 40 News at 7. The Board of Supervisors is trying to solve the Sacramento main jail's overcrowding problem. What was discussed at last night's meeting ahead of a vote today.
And several people living here in Sacramento County will now be required to mask up indoors once again, where a mask mandate will be enforced, and what doctors are recommending as these 3 viruses are on the rise here in California.
Fox 40, covering news that matters. Fox 40 News at 7 a.m. starts now.
It's a struggle for many families if you have a sick child at home or if you're sick yourself, going to the store, whether that's a Target or a CVS, and seeing all these store shelves completely empty. It's been my struggle for the last couple of weeks.
Tried to buy sore throat lozenges the other day. They were wiped out. It's amazing.
Gone, and this is the problem why health officials are wanting people to mask up, and that's why all these viruses are spreading.
It's hard to get out there. We have more details coming up here in a little bit on the mask mandate. Let's come back to Sacramento County and some of the offices. But first of all, let's get over to Adam to talk about our weather and what we're bracing for the rest of today and through the weekend.
Well, starting off with some dense fog here around the valley. We have a dense fog advisory in the southern Sacramento Valley, northern San Joaquin Valley, and Delta until 10 a.m. with visibilities down to a quarter mile or less. So far, the valley has been okay, but the Delta, not so much.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us this Thursday. I'm Richard Sharp.
And I'm Melanie Townsend. Happening now on Fox 40 News at 8 o'clock. Another hurdle for Sacramento County's Board of Supervisors, overcrowded jails. How the board plans to balance public safety with treating inmates humanely.
Some people living in Sacramento County will be required to mask up indoors, where a mask mandate will be enforced, and what doctors are recommending as 3 viruses are on the rise in California.
Fox 40, covering news that matters. Fox 40 News at 8 a.m. starts now.
You know what I want, Richard, more than eggnog or any kind of festive drink? I want a pina colada, okay?
It's almost Friday, right?
I want summertime drinks.
Gary's got some for us. Gary's on the go today at the Jungle Bird in Midtown Sacramento, and they've got Sippin' Santa on the way right there. They're decking it out all winter-like, so this will be a fun little segment for him.
Okay, nice little fun, trendy little place down in Midtown. Looking forward to that. Now let's talk about our weather with Adam, because it's anything but summertime right here.
Not very tropical.
It is very cold.
Right, this is more of a midwinter pattern here. It's technically still not winter yet.
Fall.
We have to wait.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
It's fall, and we've got some fall fog that we're dealing with this morning. Dense fog advisory in effect for parts of the valley and the Delta. Visibilities can be less than a quarter of a mile, and we've seen that in a few locations. One of them, Modesto, still 0 miles of visibility there. It's like you're driving through soup, so you have to be careful and give yourself extra distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. And then Fairfield, Vacaville, Davis area has some dense fog out there as well, so please drive slowly.
Today on Fox 40 News at 11, the city and county of Sacramento cement their deal to craft new solutions for homelessness. The number of new shelter beds they hope will be available within a year. Following the arrest of a Taekwondo instructor for possessing child pornography, a father and son who took lessons from the suspect are speaking out. And COVID cases are on the rise again in California. How students will be affected in the Sacramento City Unified School District if virus transmission hits high levels.
Fox 40, covering news that matters. Fox 40 News at 11 a.m. starts now.
Hi there, everybody, and glad to have you along for Fox 40 News at 11. I'm Sonseeahray, Tonsall. Happening now, the Sacramento County Board of Supervisors is meeting to discuss building a new jail annex. It's an effort that's caused controversy in the community for years, with the board once promising the project was dead. Fox 40's Claudette Stefanian is live outside the main jail with the details of this proposal. Hi, Claudette.
Hey, good morning to you, Sonseeahray. As you can imagine, we're seeing a full range of reaction in regards to this jail, and it's a lawsuit that spurred these discussions in the first place. It's a settlement from that lawsuit that says that the jail needs to take proper action in addressing medical care, mental health, as well as becoming ADA and HIPAA compliant.
All
right. Just in time for the show. Had to get downstairs real quick. Yeah.
Oh, you went downstairs.
I was downstairs.
You got some of the. You got into the basement for his rolls.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when Taro comes by, he's got everything loaded downstairs, ready to go. We bring it upstairs. Look at it. He's already made a 40 roll for us.
He knows.
Yes.
Welcome into Studio 40 Live. We got Taro here. Kick off the show. Welcome in, man. How are you?
Thank you very much.
I love having you here, especially when watching you make sushi is one of my favorite new hobbies.
Fox 40, covering news that matters. Fox 40 News at 5 p.m. starts now.
And we'll get started tonight with some breaking news. A teenager has been arrested in connection to a deadly shooting that happened at Grant Union High School's parking lot back in October. Sacramento police say that the gun they believe to have been used was found inside the 15-year-old boy's home. The incident happened during a football game at that school. One of the victims drove to the hospital, and that's where that person died. Happening right now, the Sacramento County Board of Supervisors is meeting to discuss and vote on a plan to figure out what to do with the overcrowding at the main jail following a federal class action lawsuit. Thanks for joining us for Fox 40 News at 5 o'clock. I'm Eric Harryman.
And I'm Nikki. Laurenzo. Options up for debate today include a jail expansion and releasing inmates. The Sacramento County Sheriff's Office says releasing inmates poses a threat to public safety. The ACLU says a jail expansion doesn't address what they call the cultural issue. Fox 40's Kirsten is live in downtown Sacramento to tell us what happened today. Kirsten.
News that matters. You're watching Fox 40.
A bill just introduced at the state capitol could have a major implication for Californians that are saddled with student debt. That legislation would exempt people who qualify for the federal student loan forgiveness program from having to pay state taxes on that forgiven debt. Thanks for joining us for Fox 40 News at 5:30. I'm Eric Harryman.
And I'm Nikki Laurenzo. As Fox 40 Capitol reporter Eitan Wallace explains tonight, the proposal must clear some hurdles before it can become law.
Fox 40, covering news that matters.
The wet weather may be over, but the aftermath is still very visible. Weekend storm bringing a fresh blanket of snow across the Sierra. And tonight, communities are still digging themselves out. Thanks for joining us for Fox 40 News. I'm Nikki Laurenzo.
And I'm Eric Harryman. A whole lot of snow means tough road conditions. Fox 40's Dennis Shanahan is in Soda Springs right now with a closer look at how things are there, Dennis. Not just how they are, but what it was like in the process of getting there.
Fox 40, covering news that matters.
The wet weather may be over, but the aftermath is still very visible. Weekend storm bringing a fresh blanket of snow across the Sierra. And tonight, communities are still digging themselves out. Thanks for joining us for Fox 40 News. I'm Nikki Laurenzo.
And I'm Eric Harryman. A whole lot of snow means tough road conditions. Fox 40's Dennis Shanahan is in Soda Springs right now with a closer look at how things are there, Dennis. Not just how they are, but what it was like in the process of getting there.
Fox 40, covering news that matters.
Happening right now, the Sacramento County Board of Supervisors is meeting to discuss and vote on a plan to figure out what to do with overcrowding at the main jail following a federal class action lawsuit. Thanks for being with us for Fox 40 News. I'm Eric Harryman.
And I'm Nikki Laurenzo. Options up for debate today include a jail expansion and also releasing inmates. The Sacramento County Sheriff's Office says releasing inmates poses a threat to public safety. The ACLU says a jail expansion doesn't address what they call the cultural issue. Fox 40's Kirsten is in downtown Sacramento tonight with more on what happened today.
It's been an hours-long meeting, but it all boils down to this one thing a supervisor says, which is needing a balance between public safety and meeting the needs of those incarcerated who have medical and mental needs.
Fox 40's Final Quarter, powered by Ford, starts now.
Welcome into Final Quarter. I'm Kirsten Kellar. The Sacramento Kings in Cleveland tonight taking on the Cavaliers. The Cavs are coming off a convincing victory over the Lakers in a game that featured the return of the big man, Jarrett Allen, as well as a dominant performance from Donovan Mitchell, who had 43 points, and the Lakers, who are 7-3 in their last 10 games. Meanwhile, the Kings are coming off a loss against the Milwaukee Bucks. Sacramento hitting the court for the second game of their 6-game road trip.
Now, on Inside California Politics, lawmakers return to the state capitol for business, including a historic number of women.
I think that there's a lot of opportunity for us to work together and do really good things for women, for families, for children.
Assemblymember Pilar Schiavo on the history made and her priorities as a new lawmaker.
Plus, a new Republican effort to suspend the state's gas tax.
If we are going to be serious about reducing the cost of gasoline, then let's have the debate. Let's debate this alternative.
Assemblymember Vince Fong on that effort and how a looming budget deficit could affect spending.
And Republicans in the Senate will have a new leader, Senator Brian Jones, on his ascension into that leadership role.
Broadcasting across the Golden State, this is Inside California Politics.
Thanks for joining us for Inside California Politics. I'm Frank Buckley in Los Angeles.
And I'm Nikki Laurenzo in Sacramento. Lawmakers were back in Sacramento this week to kick off the organizational session ahead of the start of the regular session in January.